Good morning. It is now 6:20 in the morning on the next morning. So it has been 12 to 2:30, 13, 14, 15, nearly a full 16 hours over the afternoon, over the evening, over the early morning into now. So 16 hours. I have not opened this. I don't know what it looks like. Let's, I guess, have a look. But I guess before I crack that open, what I've done is I've brought out some mineral oil, some white oil, so that we can give it a bit of a coat afterwards. We're going to take them out, put on some gloves, take them out, head over to the tap. We'll rinse and scrub off, bring them in, dry them off, and then we will apply some oil. So let's just put that temporarily aside and see what has happened. Woo! Wowee. Well, the colors definitely changed quite significantly. So that's very promising. Now, I was trying to figure out what I could use to actually transport it, and I'm thinking I might just put it on top of this lid, and that will work probably okay. So, gonna have to rinse that anyway. So let's get some gloves on. Gonna have to get another box of gloves out soon. I've got some over there on the other shelf, so that should be okay. I was watching this reel and people were saying about how hard it is to put on gloves. What? I don't know why, but look, fingers go in, stretch them on, it's done. Well, I don't know why you need a life hack on how to put on gloves. Anyway, alright, so the easy stuff to come out, actually I'm going to get a little container because of the small stuff that we don't want to lose, like the nuts and bolts, which is all down this side. Actually, let's tuck my tails in first. There we go. Okay. Oh, wow. The rust has turned pink. That's interesting. Oh, that's a bit cool. The liquid is definitely a bit cool. Yeah, so there's the other piece of brass bit. I didn't put in the end of the tote because I hadn't punched it out. I probably should have thought about that and put it in, but that's okay. I can clean that one relatively manually. I think that's all the small bits. We'll just have a look. Careful, careful. Alright. Oh, there's a lot of sediment that's come off. I can see it. Picking the base of the plane up. Let's just put that there. There. Wow. A lot of that has just fallen right off. I mean, a lot of that is probably just loose crud anyway, but we will see how well that comes off. It smells though. I mean, that's all the gas is here, but it's a well ventilated shed, so I wouldn't go I wouldn't advise you to go huffing it, that's for sure. There's the iron and lever cut. Plenty of life in that available for sharpening. Alright, and then all of these augers. I won't do too much with these at the moment. I'll just rinse them off, scrub them. Still need to dry them, of course. You can see how much rust that they did have. Some of the newer ones that didn't have any had a good clean on them anyway. Well, this one there was definitely no weird scum on the top, so I suspect that may have been from the soap more than anything else. Okay, but now that it's going a bit murky, just doing a feel check in the corners. I haven't missed anything. All right, so we're just going to carefully move this out of the way as well, so that we can pour this into some containers later. There we go. Let's open this up. I'll need that. And okay, so let's get onto, I suppose, the fines first. And see if this, if the brass cleans out, or if I've permanently turned it pink. I may have permanently turned it pink. That's really, is it coming off? I mean, it's scratching, so it might buff off, but that's some kind of primitive anodize maybe now. Oh, it is coming off. I can see it because it's forming a muddy kind of color as I'm scrubbing it. Well, I don't mind that actually. All right. I mean, most of these were actually in pretty good condition. I'll give this all a rinse once over again anyway. There's nothing really to knock off on that. I might have to clip this bit and speed it up because it'll take a while, and I don't know if you really want to be here listening to this or the birds, but maybe you do. I don't know. Drop me a comment, let me know, and then yeah, I'll know what to do for future ones. And 2 washers that probably really didn't need to go in, but they went in anyway. Alright. So those bits came out pretty good. All right. Cool. Okay, so let's get on to, I guess everybody wants to see what happens with the big one, don't they? So let's do the big one. Give it a rinse. And did it come off cleanly? Oh, it's still a little bit. Oh no, now it's loosening up. And there's the big lump on the front here, and because it was actually sitting on it, it kind of might not have had as much exposure to it. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that's done quite a reasonable job. Just wondering if it needs to go in for longer now. All that Japanning has just come right off. This is going to be like that. It's all lifted. This brush is not very good for getting into those spots. I'm going to have to get in there manually, I think, with maybe a little bit of sandpaper. And just shove my fingers into very small tight spaces. Let's check out these cheeks. They're actually pretty good. That came off pretty good. Yeah, it's just really that there's still some of this on the sole. I wonder if I should put it in the tank for a little bit more. Maybe I will. Just to help try and get some of that more off. Unless, of course, it's converted now at scale. think. And that's going to require lapping, but it's still quite rough, it's still quite bumpy, there's a lot of pitting there. So yeah, might just put it back into the tank for a few more hours. So I've got to go out today to go pick up some free plants from the local council, and then I've got to take the kids swimming, and then we'll be back for lunch. So we're typically back around, I don't know, 12:30, which is another 6 hours from now. So that'll give this probably a bit more time to work away, because now that I've cleaned off what it has penetrated, as you can see it's not really changing color much now, then it'll be able to attack the fresh stuff underneath. So this I pop that in. We'll leave it side up now so it can actually kind of get to it. How about if I try and do that? Will that work? Maybe side on? No. I think I might need to pop something underneath that in a moment, and then that way it'll give the support I'm kind of after. Oh no, I can just wedge it in there. There we go. And that'll give it the exposure to that stuff. All right, see how the frog has gone. The frog, the rinse. I've actually ordered, like, look how terrible these bristles are now. Some more brass wire brushes. So yeah, it's still very firm, but that's okay. I'd say that is definitely a huge improvement. And there's some of that heavier scale on the top there and on the back here, but I probably won't bother putting this back into the tank. Just a very small amount by comparison. Can't really get in there easily, but once I oil it, once I dry it off and oil it, it might be all right. Yeah, I don't have a punch or anything that will let me get in that out, so I can take the actual adjuster out. But put that there. Now these two. Oh, okay, so there's still a big lump here. That is not coming off. These might have to go back into the tank for a bit more. yeah, that's pretty lumpy. So I think that's going to have to go back in. And then, well, that was good. That stuff just fell right off. And the back of this is still a lump there. But most of that has come off pretty good. Actually, pretty good. Yeah, so it's just a little bit there. The rest of it, a little bit there. I could probably get rid of that when I am cleaning this off with a little bit of sanding. That's not too much of an issue. I mean, that's going to go through a sharpening process anyway. As for that, that's really the only bit there. It's quite a big lump, actually. A bit unusual. But in theory, anyway, if we mate this to that, does it contact? Does it make an issue? If I tighten that down, will it stop it from applying even force across it? It's on this side. It may. Alright, so maybe I just I might need to just put that back in. We'll leave the iron out. Alright, so the rest of these, obviously it's just going to be me scrubbing. I don't know if there's much value in you guys watching that, since this is really more about the plane. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stop this part, and then I'll clean this up, rinse this off, dry them, oil them, and then, yeah. It's going to be quite an extensive process to do other bits and pieces, but what I might do is I'll split and finish this video now, and then we'll come back after that's come out, being cleaned up, oiled and whatnot, and then we'll go into sharpening and everything else into later parts. So thank you very much for watching this video across a couple of parts on getting these guys to where they're at, and we'll come back in another video on a reassembled plain body and then sharpening and all that kind of stuff. So thanks very much for watching. Please leave some comments below on what I could be doing better, or your thoughts around this process, especially that homemade chemical. Maybe some good wire brushes that you could recommend that I'm going to absolutely destroy like that. Yeah, and as always, until next time, happy clacking. Did that turn off? Did not. Trying to do this without degloving, but I might have to deglove. There we go.